Welcome back to Superior Sunrise. Joining me now is a familiar face if you've watched the Cowboy channel, Justin McKee, but he's here as a Superior consignor and getting to switch roles here, getting to be the interviewee. I'm very excited to have you on. And you've got some cattle on today, so I want to jump right into that. Tell us about the cattle you're bringing to today's auction.
Well, thank you, Callie. It's an honor to be here, and it's kind of like a day off, getting to sit on this side of the table and get interviewed. So I've got some cattle consigned. I've got a load of heifers and a load of steers. It's my calf crop. I sold a couple of loads at, let's see, 3 sales ago, and this is the middle cut of them. And I combined my calves from about 3 different locations in 3 different states and put them in a grow yard there in Kansas, and that's where they're going to be shipped from. And they're got a good Gardner registered bulls, and actually got a lot of Gardner cows too. Yeah. And that's been a game changer for me.
Absolutely. Well, tell me about your background in this business. You know, how did you get involved in agriculture? I'm sure you were born into it, but what's your story?
Right. So I grew up in the livestock auction business. My dad ran 2 different livestock auctions, and he was an order buyer. And even when I was a kid, when I was just born there in the early 70s, my dad would spend a lot of time out in the Colorado Western Range, kind of before Superior got started, getting some of those ranches that were kind of remote, and he was buying calves. And then Superior came along in the mid-'80s, and he became a Superior rep, and I got to help him with a lot of those deliveries and got to know Jim Odle and the Odle family. They're at the very earliest stages of Superior. So it's kind of been a big part of my life throughout. So it's really fun to make full circle back here as a consignor and then get to see familiar faces and old names.
Absolutely. Well, I do want to touch on this week is National FFA Week, and I know that's an organization that's important to you. Tell me why it has been so meaningful to you.
Well, we had a wonderful FFA chapter in Labette County, Kansas. They're in Altamont, and we had 3 advisors, and still those men were some of the most influential people in my life. And then I went on to run for state FFA president, and I was president there in Kansas a year. And it was a huge part of who I am then and now. I owe a lot to FFA. As a matter of fact, I'm leaving here, going to the Cowboy Channel studios with my boss, Patrick Gotch. We're going to shoot a show that's going to air tonight, actually, for FFA Give Day. We're going to try to raise $1 million today for the FFA organization.
Wow, that is incredible. Also, you know, this industry, I think you really have to be passionate about it to want to be in it, because there's lots of ups and downs. So to you, what keeps you fueled to be in this industry and stay passionate about it?
Well, I'm addicted to cattle. Even though I've got a couple full-time jobs, I can't stay away. I love the lifestyle, I love the people. I love watching cattle grow. Even if it's just watching an animal eat for a little bit, when I'm in the hustle and bustle of downtown Fort Worth or airports around the country, it's nice to come home and just be a part of something that is wholesome, that is real, and there's something within us that knows, and I think it's almost spiritual, that part of the process that we are plugged into in raising this animal is going to give life to somebody. Yeah. Real life. It's not just food, it's life. Right. And so it becomes spiritual at that point. And so I believe that caretakers have been gifted by God to have that passion that you talk about. Yeah.
What an awesome answer. Tell us real quick before we go what time that special is going to be airing so we can all tune into it.
Oh, I think it's going to air 6:30 Central Time. It's going to be evening prime time. I'm not real sure on that, but anyway, raising $1 million.
We will be looking out for it. A pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for being here. Don't go anywhere. Charlie Cummings joins us to close out the show.